Attention all grill masters and backyard barbecue enthusiasts. Lynn's has everything you need to make your 4th of July cookout a success. From sizzling certified Angus beef steaks and mouth-watering burgers to fresh cut fruit and all the condiments you desire, we have you covered. Browse our weekly ad for celebratory savings like 39 cents per pound seedless watermelon through July 4th and shop online at lynsgrocery.com for extra convenience. Lynn's, where delicious begins.
Hey, it's Kim Komando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to komando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Okay, do you remember that song? Jenny, I got your number.
Of course.
Okay, hey, come on, sing it. Come on, sing it.
8675309, 8675. And then doesn't it say something like, for a good time call?
Yes, for a good time call. Now, the reason why I bring this up is that so many people, well, you know, when you go to the grocery store and they say, do you have your loyalty card? Do you have a loyalty number? Because if you don't put that in, well, then the grocery store is going to charge you like 50% more.
Right.
You know, and then they say, oh, you saved $23.52. You're like, yeah.
And we sold all your data for $24.52.
Exactly. So there's a little known secret that if you ever need a loyalty number, what you do is you put in your area code and then 8675309.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. And because just about any place in the country that somebody has set up a loyalty card using that area code in 8675309. And so if you are concerned about giving away your data, you just put that number in there. Now, the reason why I mention this is that I put this little tip inside of a recent current newsletter, you know, the free newsletter that goes out to 500,000 folks that we send out every single day.
Heard of it.
So this is the comment that I got back. Actually, I got 2 comments back. So I tried Jenny's number trick for one of those supermarket loyalty programs, and it worked. So nice. I got the discount. I told a friend of mine, she went to the store yesterday and entered in the area code in 8675309. And the cashier said, hey, do you want to use your rewards? And so she said, yes. So her $30 grocery order became $2.03.
That's fabulous. Yeah, too. You can like put at some of the gas stations. You can put your number in at the pump for a discount. I'm sure if the entire state is using that number, it's going to be a pretty penny off of your gas.
Okay, so but then I got another note from somebody who said basically, I don't think that's ethical. I don't think you should be able to use 8675309 as a loyalty card number because isn't that stealing from the store?
Yeah, probably. Yep, probably is.
So now next time you need to enter in a loyalty number, I want you to put in that 8675309 and see what kind of discount you might get.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out. I want to see if it works. I put in my phone number in a grocery store yesterday thinking I had already had the account, and I hadn't. It was for a Safeway. I guess when Safeway and Albertsons merged or something, they changed everything.
They're all merging.
Now I'm getting, 36 text messages a day.
Nice.
I know. So I'm going to start using that number because I don't want Safeway to tell me how cheap grapes are every single hour on the hour.
I don't need to know this. No. And on that happy note, welcome. It's Kim Komando Today. It's your fun podcast about all things digital. And joining me, of course, is our very own awesome Andrew Babinski. So, Andrew, what do you have on tap for us today?
The TikTok ban. We're months removed from it, and there was a survey to find out what people think of it now, since it's a little bit past when it was pushed through by the Senate.
And then, of course, we have our very own Ian joining us, right? I mean, for our special segment about Gen Z made easy. And he's going to be talking about a disturbing trend. Is he
just going by first name like Cher and Madonna? He's just Ian?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just Ian.
All right.
Just Ian. I mean, because this way when people say like, hey, did you see Ian? It's like, yeah, I know Ian.
Yeah.
Just, I know Ian.
It's Ian.
It's It's just Ian. That's the way it is. And just a quick reminder that we're now giving away, we did give away the iPhone 16, just to let you know.
Found a winner.
Patricia, somebody or another won. Yes, she won. But now we're giving away, we're up in the ante a little bit, an iPhone 16 Pro that has the Apple Intelligence button built in.
Nice.
Yes. So if you didn't win the last iPhone 16, well, now, maybe it's good that you didn't, because now you can win the super duper iPhone 16 by going to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. And then this is your cue, Andrew, to say,
please subscribe. Please. We're so close to it. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that desperate, but we're trying to get 100,000 viewers on YouTube. And that's where we go live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, right below us, there's a little subscribe button. And when I say the word subscribe, it's supposed to light up. So that means you're supposed to click it. If you subscribe, when we go live, when we have new videos and shorts that we drop on YouTube. And it helps the algorithm so people can find us. And we'll keep doing this show every single week.
Yes, we love that. We just love that. We are so close. We are so close.
Every single day.
Actually, So I was at the airport yesterday because I'm in Santa Barbara right now.
Right.
And I was talking to some people and they said, "How are you?" And I said, "Have you been to my YouTube channel?" They're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Just go to youtube.com/Kim Komando. Hit that subscribe button." And I said, "I don't care if you even watch anything. It doesn't matter to me." Okay. Just go ahead and go to youtube.com/Kim Komando. And they all looked at me like, God, she is like crazier than a banshee.
Would you like fries with that? Would you like to subscribe to my YouTube channel?
Exactly. All right, here's something that's going on in the tech world that you need to know about. Have you ever used 23andMe?
No.
How come not? You say that with such disdain.
I mean, I don't know what the benefit of it would be. And that's a little bit, my DNA is a little bit too much information. I'll give you my shopping habits. I'll give you the last 3,000 websites I went to, all the apps I download. But my DNA, I'm going to keep to myself.
Okay. I am 1,000% with you. Okay. I don't care to know that I'm, 80% Russian. I already know that. Okay.
I'm Polish. I'm super Polish. Done.
No, Babinski is Polish? I thought you were Irish all this time.
It's because all the Guinness I drink, but no, I'm Polish.
Okay, so 23andMe, their stock is close to being delisted. The entire board of directors has quit. And the CEO says, well, after we, had that data breach with like 7 million records and we had to spend that $30 million fine. Well, we have 15 million customers and we think that we should just sell the whole enchilada to somebody. Everything.
Someone's going to buy it.
Who do you think's going to buy it?
China.
Them, or I was thinking like insurance companies, because then they could have a database of your risk for potential diseases.
I'll tell you, whoever's going to buy it is also then going to resell it over and over and over and over again to get their investment back.
Exactly. Over and over and over. So if you did have a 23andMe account, I want you to go ahead and delete it now, like at this moment. Like, you can go ahead and pause the podcast if you're listening on a walk or if you're watching us on YouTube. I just want you to pause it and go and delete your 23andMe account, because this way you won't forget to do it. Okay.
Wait a minute. Hold on. If I delete it, though, they still have all the information. It's not like it's truly deleted.
Well, no, they say that they do delete it.
Okay. So
they do say.
If they do sell in the future and you've deleted your account, then you won't be part of that sale.
Exactly.
Okay.
100%. Okay. Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman. Okay. That's a pretty big title, isn't it?
I don't know what it means, but it sounds important.
Yeah, it's a Senate Foreign Relations Committee Chairman. I mean, you have to like be some big mucky muck to have that job. Like, you couldn't have that job. I could not have that job.
No.
Okay. I mean, because you have to know like where every part of the world is, what every country is, every like Kakistan and Pakistan and Afghanistan and all those other places, right?
You also have to be a senator.
Yeah, and we're not that either.
No.
Okay.
There's only 100 people.
But I know a senator.
Oh, that's
too.
close.
I know one.
That's enough. Just give her the job.
So his name is Ben Cardin. He's a Democrat from Maryland. Now, the reason why I bring him up is that he has made it public. I'd be so embarrassed. Okay. Well, first of all, to get a phone call with the Senate Foreign Relations Committee chairman, you probably have to go through some hoops, right?
Yeah. There's got to be levels of middlemen and assistants and PR people that you have to get through before the phone actually rings on his desk.
I mean, so it's not like you could just say, hey, Ben, I'm over here in the Ukraine. Would you like to have a chat? Right?
Right.
Okay. No, it doesn't work that way. Well, he had a Zoom call with somebody who was pretending to be Ukraine's foreign minister. Okay. It was a deep fake, as it turns out. And it looked and sounded just like the real guy. And the scammer was asking Ben Cardin for his opinions on sensitive foreign policies and what he thought of the upcoming elections. So after several minutes on a Zoom call with a pretend Ukraine foreign minister, he said, I think this is a deep fake.
Okay.
I'm not sure this is a real person. Okay. But, I'm happy that Ben figured out that it was a deep fake. But I'm actually kind of sad that it went through all those levels to get to him, that it was a deep fake all along.
But let's be fair. The levels that it probably went through were emails, and they were probably fake assistants talking to real assistants, fake press secretaries talking to real fake press secretaries. They probably didn't see the deep fake video call until it was time to launch, wouldn't you think?
I would hope so, but still along the way, I'm sure there were signs. I don't know if this happens all the time, but I know that in order for somebody to get through to me and to have a Zoom call with me, they send a couple of emails. Maybe there's a phone call. Why do you want it? And, there's some documentation that's going back and forth. And then to actually meet me in person, okay, that's a whole nother level. I mean, that normally requires becoming a sponsor, just to let you know.
Okay.
Just saying.
Pay to play, just like the government, just like a senator.
I'm just kidding. I'm teasing you. All right. Do you buy any movies on your streaming service like Apple or Amazon or anything like that?
No. I have so many streaming subscriptions for sports that if I need to find a movie, I'll find one on one of my 64 different apps.
Well, Barry likes to watch movies time and time again. And so we actually buy a lot of movies. Now, the reason why I bring this up is that a new law in California, which means once it comes in California, then it kind of spreads out, is going to force these digital storefronts to say, you're licensing the content. You don't actually own it, so we can take it away from you at any given moment.
And this is really going to affect the video game industry because, of course, people like to rewatch movies, but video game people, they've played games, replay games from the 80s, the 90s. That's why the emulators are so popular online, but now they're learning they don't own the game. They're just licensing the software.
Yeah, that's it. And that's actually where it came from. PlayStation and Ubisoft, they deleted games from players' accounts because they shut down all the servers. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, wait a minute, no, we bought this game. This is our game, and we love playing this game. Like, PlayStation's like, nope, you don't own it. You just had the right to play it. That's it. That's all you have the right to do.
At least they're telling us up front now.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So we talked about this before. We don't really print very much. Mm-mm. Hardly at all. Like 5 pieces of paper a week or something like that.
That sounds dramatic.
And dum. Well, there's always been this problem that when you go buy ink for your printer, that it's tied to the manufacturer. And of course, the manufacturers say, if you don't use our ink, is that it's going to destroy the printer. It's not going to be good for your network. Actually, Hewlett Packard CEO said that the hackers would be able to get in if you didn't use our ink. Which I was like, when I read that, I'm like, oh, come on.
How?
I have no idea. And I have taken apart printers. I have put them back together piece by piece. Well, not literally piece by piece, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. And so he got, ridiculed from left to right for doing that. But now the reason why I bring this up is that a YouTuber has figured out how to get into these HP branded ink cartridges. and also into the printer itself. And what you do is you replace the circuit board inside the printer with a cheap one. And then the printer goes, oh, this is not a non-HP inkjet cartridge. This is a real HP inkjet cartridge. And it's like a 20-minute hack in order for you just to buy any ink cartridge and then just slap it in there.
Is this something that Joe Schmo off the street can pull off themselves?
Yeah, it looked like it.
It's
I did
simple enough.
I mean, I saw the video. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, but if you're a tinkerer, it's something that you could probably do with ease. And so now HP has gotten wind of this. And you know what they're saying?
Voids the warranty. It's going to be the end of the world as we know it.
The hackers are going to get it.
Right.
No, they're saying that this goes against every terms and condition that you agreed to when you bought the Hewlett-Packard printer. And so therefore, if they detect that you have done this to your printer, they are going to brick your printer. Brick it. So that this way it doesn't work with anything.
Wait a minute. They have the ability to brick my printer, but they don't have the ability, if the hackers are trying to get in through my cheap ink cartridge, to brick it then to avoid the hacking from happening?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
You got it, you know. After all, sheet happens.
Get hyped with the new Pizza Hut My Box range. With 4 customizable My Box options for endless combos. That's bussin'. Order one My Box today and make it yours. Pizza or melts? That's your call. Sides? You can have 2 or a drink, so play by your rules. Set your terms and your conditions to match all cravings. New Pizza Hut My Box range. Your terms, your conditions. Pizza Hut. Order today.
Hey, it's Kim Komando today. It's your fun podcast about everything digital. And I know that you're sitting there saying, Kim, how are you so incredibly smart, witty, wonderful, charming, beautiful, you know, every single day of the week, every minute of the day. Right, Andrew?
Who are you talking to? Who's saying all these things?
I just know that that's exactly what all. Well, I know that they're wondering if this is really the Kim Komando show. So I just want to give a shout out to the show. It's not the show. The show is the big show. It's on, I don't know, over 420 odd stations. You know, if you count every signal, I think it's up to 700 individual signals, stations, HD channels, streaming, all this other different stuff. But anyway, the show is a 3-hour event that you can get as a podcast. And it's not all 3 hours, because that 3 hours includes commercial breaks if you're listening on radio. So what you want to do is wherever you get your podcast, just search for Komando with a K, of course. Now, you know that I'm a car gal, right? I mean, I love cars. I love cars. There's a trend that's happening right now that is so annoying to me. It's these monthly charges. What's going on with that?
So Mazda rolled out a basically connected service for all new buyers, where on your app, you get certain features that is connected to your car. You can remote start your car. You can unlock the doors. You can look at the car's health. But there's also things like service warnings that would be something that's standard inside every single vehicle, just in the dash display. And they were giving it to their owners and buyers for free. But they've decided they wanted to change this. And they're going to have a subscription fee for you to have access to this at $10 a month or $120 a year. So software people out there, the people on the internet who love to bypass all this stuff, they figured out a way to get around it with still having access to all the features that you would through the app, the connected app, but not having to pay the fee. And they have now killed access to that.
Oh.
And the big question is this going to be the future? When you purchase not just a car, but pretty much anything, are they going to attack a subscription fee to your blender? Are you going to go to your blender and it's like, oh, if you want to put bananas in your blender, you have to pay $2.99 a month. GMC and Chevy, they are going to have a $1,500 mandatory charge that you can't even opt out. It will be separate from the retail price of the vehicle, but every single car will have to be connected and will have to pay this $1,500 charge for all those features.
Well, what do you get? Because, I think when Barry bought his Corvette, there was something that was like $25 a month in order for him to use like the dash cam or something like that in his car. So what are they getting for this $1,500? Or is it just that it's just connected?
It's all the technology that they have come up with over the last 5 years that is connected via the internet. They are taking all of that, bundling it together, and slapping a charge on it. Something where they would market that you get included in the value of the car, like remote start, like unlocking your car from anywhere in the world. And they're just charging for that. Something they included before, which is, we've talked about it on this show. Don't give us something for free, and then you're going to slap a price tag on it. That's when we revolt.
Well, it's not just them. BMW, their dash cam feature is $20 a month. Okay. If you have a Cadillac and you want to do hands-free driving, that's $25 a month. Audi wants to charge you $260 a year for dynamic lighting.
You better like that purple light. It's expensive.
Okay. But my most favorite one, and I love Mercedes-Benz. I think they are phenomenal cars. Okay. And I drove one this past week, a brand new S63, and I'm not going to buy it, but the guy at the dealership knows. I just love seeing like their new models and the tech that's all built into it. Okay. So if you want to go from 0 to 60, okay, 1 second faster, just 1 second.
Are you serious?
Okay. It's $1,200 a year, $1,200 a year to go 1 second faster.
So basically, this has to be a performance switch in the software that's connected to the engine that remotely they can turn on and off.
Yes.
That's
for
insane.
1 second. 1 second. Yeah. But, a lot of people, that's important to them. And while I was there, they were showing me some, I'm not going to say who it was, but it's somebody who plays football for a really big team.
Okay.
And instead of having like an SL63, which is like the high end car, is that they really had an SL55, but they wanted the dealer to put on an SL63 on the back, so everybody thought that he had the higher end car.
That's the old Shaq story. Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player. He did the exact same thing. He bought the lowest end BMW that he could fit in, and then he had him change all the badges because he wanted to make it look like it was the higher end one.
So obviously he was like straight up about this then, right? Because everybody knows,
no, he talked about it. He didn't care. He didn't care. He talks about it. Shaq also, when he got traded to the Suns and he had to move to Phoenix, went and spent $35,000 at Walmart to furnish his house that he was going to rent while he was here in Phoenix.
I didn't know that.
He doesn't
I didn't know
hold
you could spend $35,000 at Walmart on furniture.
Isn't that everything at Walmart? Just give me all of it.
Wow, that is something. Just speaking of this, reminds me, I went car shopping, obviously, many years ago with my dad. And we were at the Toyota dealership on Camelback Road. Big, it's like where all the car dealerships are, right there in Phoenix, Central Phoenix. And he's like, come on, Kim, I'm going to teach you how to negotiate to buy a car. And I'm like, okay, Dad. My dad was, this big Russian guy. You can never say no. No matter what he wanted, it was like, okay, yeah, Dad, I'm there. And if you wanted to, if he said, be home at 9, you better be home at 8:57, because otherwise you were late type of thing. So anyway, we go into this car dealership and he's buying a Toyota pickup truck. And he's looking at, all the costs. And at that time it was $8,000 or something like that. And then he gets to the bottom, and I never forget his face. He looked at the guy and he said, "Excuse me, the back bumper is an option?" And the sales guy goes, "Yeah, that's not standard anymore. We're not included the bumpers anymore." My father's like, "So what are you putting back there? Nothing?"
Right. Go get your wrench. Take it off.
Okay. So now when you're buying a car, you really need to check for all those monthly fees for sure.
Look at the monthly fees and also look what you're signing up for, because you may be signing up to get tracked and monitored at all times by this car company, and you think you're getting a free feature for 90 days, and they're tracking you for the rest of the time.
And where do you think that data's going?
I know it'll be hacked and stolen within months.
For sure.
Get hyped with the new Pizza Hut My Box range. With 4 customizable My Box options for endless combos. That's bussin'. Order one My Box today and make it yours. Pizza or melts? That's your call. Sides? You can have 2 or a drink. So play by your rules. Set your terms and your conditions to match all cravings. New Pizza Hut My Box range. Your terms, your conditions. Pizza Hut. Order today.
Hey, it's Kim Komando today. It's your podcast about everything digital, and I'm sure you are spreading the word. At least tell 5 to 10 people about, or just one person. I don't even care. I mean, I don't even care if you like them. Just make sure that you tell one person about Kim Komando today. And we are trying out something new. So if you ever have a question for us that you'd like us to, possibly play here on the podcast and then answer, you can go ahead and just record a voice memo on your phone and send it to podcasts@komando.com. That's podcasts with an S, podcasts@komando.com. So now it's time for Ian to join us for our special segment about Gen Z Made Easy. And I will tell you, Andrew, that I bought Ian a special shirt not too long ago. Special shirt.
How special? Is this it?
It's not this one.
Oh, okay.
I wanted him to wear it here on the podcast, but he said that he wouldn't.
Why don't you want to wear it?
You have to let her explain it. It's not for me. Yeah.
It's a shirt, and it's all it says is "I heart my mommy."
Big lettering too.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Don't wear that.
No.
No.
No, that would be embarrassing.
It's like a size extra small too. So
Is it a
yeah,
onesie?
that's not going to work.
it feels like it.
But you do heart your mommy. You just don't want
Of
everybody
course
to
I
know.
heart my mommy, but I don't need to go display it everywhere.
No.
So I read not too long ago that Gen Zers are having trouble finding a job. And they say that they're applying for jobs, they're barely getting any responses, and they figure that there's no harm in being transparent. So on LinkedIn profiles of Gen Zers, this is why you're here, Ian, to explain to us, is that they're putting the hashtag desperate. Hashtag desperate. Okay. I don't know if that's such a good idea, because it kind of puts you in a really bad negotiating position for a job. I mean, as far as salary goes, don't you think?
Personally, I wouldn't do that. I kind of like things that are hard to get, things that are exclusive, and whatever's easy and available is not the most appealing in regards to any aspect in life. And I think if I were to market myself for a job, I would never say I'm hashtag desperate.
Or maybe that should be on a T-shirt when you go to a bar. Hashtag desperate.
Well, here's the thing.
It's even worse.
Gen Zers overshare everything, not just their job status. They overshare everything. I saw a video on TikTok where a Gen Zer had lost a child that unfortunately had passed away. And within 15 minutes of learning the news, they are sitting there recording a TikTok in tears. There are some things you can just keep to yourself.
It's absurd.
Yeah,
It's the whole chase for clicks.
So
It's the whole chase for likes, engagement, clout, you name it. But never in my life would I ever think about doing that.
Now, you're not a big social media guy,
No.
but are you on LinkedIn?
I'm on LinkedIn.
Are you active on LinkedIn?
Not necessarily.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Do you see this kind of stuff with your peers where they are applying for jobs, can't find it, and they're oversharing about that?
I don't see so much of the oversharing, but I do know a few guys I grew up with who are having extremely difficult time finding any kind of job for the past year and a half since we graduated.
That's awful.
wow, we're hiring. Bring them on over.
Now you're
Bring 'em on over.
You're on the opposite end, Kim. You employ people. You hire. You do the hiring. You go on LinkedIn. You look at a profile. You see that it's a young Gen Zer, and you see hashtag desperate. Are you salivating, or are you moving on to the next candidate?
Well, first of all, this is just me. I don't think it's that hard to get a job. I mean, if you really want a job, if you truly, truly want a job, you can get any job. You can do anything. You can actually like target market to get yourself a job. I mean, so I think a lot of people who can't get a job, they're not doing it correctly, that they're not getting off their butts. They're not being aggressive enough. They're not putting themselves in networking environments or groups or whatever it may be. But what I want to really talk to you about, Ian, right now is I don't really understand it. And I know that you explained it to me once, but let's talk about this Galaxy gas. Can you talk about that?
This is something I've been thinking about for the past week. You know, I'd have my weekly segment, Gen Z Made Easy. Mm-hmm. And I always have to think, what's going to be the most interesting topic? Galaxy gas. That is what I want to talk about today.
Let me see if I know what you guys are talking about. There's a company that makes this product that they claim is for culinary use, correct?
Correct.
But then young people are buying it and using it to get high.
That's exactly what's going on. It all started off a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago, with a man named Lil T.
Okay.
Who's pretty unknown, but he came on the camera and said, "Hey, I'm Lil T." And he had the Galaxy gas, and it, distorts your voice. It's laughing gas. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people who vape, they saw the video and they said, is this a new vape, or what is this? Or is this alternative? And it has completely blown up. There's a whole number of companies who do the same thing as Galaxy gas, which is they make these nitrogen canisters that flavor whipped cream. That's the whole essential use of it. But you can unscrew the top and you can inhale it, even though it says do not inhale. And it's become a major, major epidemic now.
Now, I mean, when I was in high school, I did whippets. This is exactly what this is.
It's exactly what it is.
You take nitrogen, you fill up a balloon, you suck it in, you get high for like 10 seconds, and then you're stupid. Do you believe the company? Do you believe the company, the fact that they are marketing this for culinary? Because what I've read and seen is that it's all a front, and they're really just selling this to be huffed to get you high.
I believe the initial thought was, that of innocence and to be able to make whipped cream that has different flavors, key lime whipped cream, blueberry whipped cream. But the steps of action that have been taken to stop what's been going on just shows that it's all about greed. It's all about money. He's added a major disclaimer on his website that now when you go to the site, it says only for culinary use. You can click, I consent.
Right.
Then you can order as many bottles as you'd like to your house.
Well, we all know. I mean, I like to make 3 to 4 million pounds of whipped cream a week, so I'm gonna need a whole case of that stuff.
It's true.
Now, what exactly does it do? I mean, so like you said, I've never done anything like this. So you inhale it, and I mean, I have to think like it damages brain cells.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Andrew. Maybe that's kind of what happened.
It doesn't do that, Kim. It doesn't do that real good.
Yeah, it fries brain cells. It gets you in kind of a comatose, weird state. There's been many people who have done it when they're driving and they veered off the road and crashed. There's a lot of people in hospitals right now because of it. There was one woman I was reading about young woman, she got addicted to the Galaxy gas, and she has been doing it for the past few months, and she lost all feeling in her legs.
Oof.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's projected to come back, but as of right now, it's not looking too good.
Is it cheap? Is it an affordable high, and that's why it's popular?
It's about $40 for a big canister. I mean, we're talking something like that. And, a vape that, is probably like that, disposable.
Right.
$15, $16 probably.
Correct. So I went to a party once when I was younger, and this is when a lot of people were doing whippets, but we couldn't find the whippets. So we just went to the grocery store and we bought like 7 cases of whipped cream because it's the same stuff that's inside it. And we stood out in the field and we sucked it in. And if the whipped cream got in your mouth, you'd just spit it out because you were trying to get the high. And there was just piles of whipped cream in the middle of this field. So it's not a new thing, but the fact that you can just go ahead and pick up a phone, go to a website, and then get it delivered to your house is pretty crazy.
You can go on Walmart. You can go to Walmart and pick up some Galaxy gas right there. Go to order it right off the site. So
Walmart's selling Galaxy gas?
A whole number of retailers, yes. You can go right online, pick it right up.
Wow. So how do I guess just warning to parents, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you see your kids
major
buying
warning
Galaxy
to parents,
gas,
yeah. It's a whole different thing than any kind of a cigarette or a vape. And like Andrew said, laughing gas and nitrogen is not a new thing, but now it is completely easily accessible to a whole new demographic. And the marketing, the packaging on the bottle makes it look all kind of fun. And like, even though it says do not inhale, it looks like it could taste pretty good. So when it's called strawberry banana and the whole thing is all pink and banana and fun, I mean, it looks like it's marketed straight towards children.
All right. Well, let's switch gears. I don't want to end on a downer note. So give us a couple of terms that Gen Zers throw around that we might not know what they mean.
First off, I would say gaslighting.
Yeah, I don't know what gaslighting means. I know I've heard it a billion times, but I really don't know what it means.
I don't know what it is.
Gaslighting means that you're sort of keeping things to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if give me an example.
Use it in a sentence.
No. I'm sorry. Gatekeeping is the word that I'm looking for.
Gatekeeping. Yeah, I know that one.
Gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping.
Okay. Well, use it in a sentence for me.
So if I were to ask Andrew where he got that fabulous pink polo shirt,
right,
that you have to tune into the YouTube show to see,
absolutely, good plug,
then I would say, Andrew, where'd you get that? And you might say, sorry, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, I don't want. This is my style. I'm not sharing.
I'm
with you.
not going to share with you. And I'd say, Andrew, why are you gatekeeping that, man?
All right, keeping
why
secrets.
Why are you gatekeeping that?
Yeah.
We want
the answer is J.C. Penney. Just so you know, I don't want to gatekeep for anyone here. Okay.
J.C. Penney? Yeah. Are they still around?
Yeah. It was $11. Oh, don't hate.
Okay, it looks like it's $11. All right, give us another one. Ian.
I would say
make it a tough one. Make it a tough one. Wait, make it a tough one, and then let's see if Andrew can guess what it is.
Oh gosh, I mean, the first word that comes to mind is actually, I'll give you a tough one.
Okay,
Huzz. H-U-Z-Z.
Huzz. Is this coming from Riz? Are we in the same world?
We're in the same category, but I could use it in a sentence if you'd like.
Hey, you know what? I would appreciate the help.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't make fun of me when the Huzz are around.
Huzz. Kind of like fuzz. That was a 70s term for police, but it's probably not it. Husband, maybe short for husband. So a significant other. Is it a significant other?
You're getting close.
I am. Okay, that's the best I'm gonna get.
Okay, yeah. Huzz means basically the girls.
Oh, just the girls.
Any type of girls. So if you were to embarrass me and you'd say, oh, that Fortnite game that we were playing and I'm trying to look all cool and whatnot. Say, dude, the Huzz is around. Come on.
What's the where was it born? Where does it come from? What is it?
I saw it on TikTok. I'm not really too sure.
You have no idea the origin of it.
That's usually how these things go.
That's true. I mean, I said skibbity for months and had no idea what it meant. So
I still don't even know what skibbity means.
Skibbity toilet, baby.
Apparently, we're making a
skibbity toilet.
We're apparently making a huge blockbuster movie on it.
It's going to be huge. If you're 10, 11, or 12 years old, you're going to beg your parents so you can go watch Skibbity Toilet.
You know what? I saw Skibbity Toilet. It was funny.
I didn't really get too entertained by it.
Get hyped with the new Pizza Hut MyBox range. With 4 customizable MyBox options for endless combos. That's bussin'. Order one MyBox today and make it yours. Pizza or melts? That's your call. Sides? You can have 2 or a drink. So play by your rules. Set your terms and your conditions to match all cravings. New Pizza Hut MyBox range. Your terms, your conditions. Pizza Hut. Order today.
Hey, it's Kim Komando today. Hey, just a reminder, don't forget to win the brand new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. We gave away the old iPhone 16, but now we've got a brand new one, new and improved coming out. It's always like Apple. You want to go to winfromkim.com. Once again, that's winfromkim.com. Okay, so what was this word that we were talking about? Hose?
I don't even know if I want to say it now. It's Huzz.
Huzz.
And he was telling us about the slang word. I had never heard it before. I kind of got to the definition, but I needed to know the origin of it. And the origin is just a play on, like, remember how instead of saying the S word, Snoop Dogg used to say shizzle?
Yeah.
So instead of saying hose, you say Huzz.
I was not familiar with that.
Yeah, your hands are in the air. You're pleading the fifth.
I don't know nothing
I
about
have no
that.
idea. I got to do my research now before I start throwing around these words.
Yeah, I've heard, you know what? I've seen that look before, and especially when it's like, were you speeding through Paradise Valley and you got
Could
caught on the
never be
cactus
me.
cams?
No.
He's got to impress the hus, Kim. Let him speed.
Hey, speaking of grammar, Paul Covert sent me this little note from our newsletters.
Okay.
Hey, Kim, my wife sent me a text. You're great. So I naturally wrote back, no, you're great. She's been walking around all happy and smiling all afternoon. Should I tell her I was just correcting her grammar, or should I leave it alone?
Gotta leave it alone.
Yeah.
Because she said Y-O-U-R, and he
Yeah.
said Y-O-U-R.
Just take the brownie points as you can get
Oh,
them.
of course.
You got it. All right, so what's going on with TikTok?
Way back. Let's go on the way back machine. All the way back, and this might be hard for you guys, all the way back to April of 2024. The Senate passes
Okay, that's far.
the Senate passes a bill to ban TikTok, and everybody's out there with their pitchforks and their signs, and China is bad, TikTok is bad. And when they did a survey of TikTok users, it was split 50-50. 50% of TikTok users, these aren't just people that don't use the app, they engage with it, wanted it to be banned because they were worried about the access China had to their information. Now let's fast forward to last week. They surveyed the people again, and now 68% of people are not worried about China having their personal information. But the story is the reason why. Because someone's already got it. It doesn't matter. They believe that your personal information is already out there. We have already sold our souls to big tech companies and government. It's already out there. So don't take away something I enjoy because China's going to get my personal information however they want in some other way.
Yeah, but they're getting more than just your date of birth and your social security number and your physical address. I mean, they're getting your voice print, your fingerprint, every photo, every text message. I mean, that's more than I think big tech is getting, of course.
But it's also
and we're sending it all to the communists.
But they're also, everything you put out there, some AI is scraping it from somewhere, bundling it up in a nice pretty package and selling it all around the globe. They're not wrong in their belief that we have sold our souls and our privacy is out the window.
The way I see
But it also
and this might be a flawed belief system, but
Sure.
I just see it as this is the barrier to entry. You know, the app is free,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how I use it. And they might turn on my camera here and there and use
Not
my
might.
microphone.
They definitely are.
They're watching me. They're saying, and they're watching your fabulous pink polo
JCPenney's,
shirt.
baby.
So
Not going to gatekeep it.
You know, this is just the barrier to entry. This is what I'm used to, and somewhere out there I'm on some type of server, and I'd love to see what they have on me. Actually, probably not.
How many data points is it, Kim, that they have on us?
Oh, at least, well, it's 48,000 at least. And then that number is really infinite because every time you go on the app, it adds more data points. And so, but they have at least 48,000 different data points on the average American. But, you know, I'm not worried about the data so much. I mean, we have 170 million Americans who use TikTok every single day. Okay. Number one, that is a complete loss of productivity. I mean, come on, people. Imagine what you could be doing with your lives instead of sitting there going like, oh, look at that dance. Oh, that's fabulous. I think I'll buy that piece of junk. Okay, whatever it may be. Okay, my concern is that they have complete access to 170 million smartphones. Okay, if they wanted to, they could push down an alert that says, Russia is sending a nuclear bomb to the United States. You have 10 minutes to gather yourself together and get inside your bunker, whatever it may be. Okay, imagine the chaos that would just ensnarl the entire country if they were to do something like that. If they were able to use this 170 million smartphones for a denial of service attack, to bring down networks, to bring down power grids, water. So it's not just that we're watching videos and they're getting their data. And I think that's where there's a communication issue that I don't think people understand the true power once that app is on your phone that you are handing over to somebody to manipulate you.
But you're looking at it way big picture because that's where you are. That's where you live. These people that were surveyed, they only think about themselves. They only think how it's going to affect them.
And you're right. You know what? I don't think about myself enough. I need to.
That's what you took from that?
I'm just kidding you. You know that. You know that. Although I am seeing Whitney, I think, this weekend. So I'm going to have Whitney actually record something. 'Cause here's the deal, Ian.
Yeah.
Okay. Whitney. You know Whitney. Whitney. You've met Whitney. Saying Andrew says there is no Whitney.
I don't think it's
But
a real
I
person.
was mentioning on a podcast
I met Whitney.
that Whitney told me that her husband, Eli, they listen to the podcast every day and they laugh every day and they wouldn't miss a podcast. And they loved the podcast. They stopped me at the yacht club to say, Kim, we think you're so funny. We love you. And that Andrew guy, is his name Adam or Anthony? We're not sure.
Starts with an A.
And so Andrew says, there is no Whitney. He said, you told me that. You said you didn't believe there was a Whitney.
Because every single week you were coming in saying, people stop me on the street and ask me what's the difference between the Kim Komando show. People stop me on the street and want to know how do they get the newsletter. I was flying on a plane and they landed the plane so someone could ask me, where can I download the podcast? You're the girl who cried everybody talks to you.
No, it happens. It does.
Oh, I want the evidence.
It's just okay, but see, here's the reason why. See, I am used to such attention. I am. Because you
can't even say it with a straight face.
You're right. I can't even say it with a straight face. But you're on one station.
Yes,
okay,
that's true.
I'm on like 510. So we're in like two different atmospheres.
Bring the proof,
okay?
Commando. Bring the evidence.
I got him right there. He met Whitney. He knows her.
I met
But I'm
Whitney.
gonna
I
bring
know
the
Whitney.
evidence.
And you know what? It happens when I'm driving around Los Angeles. People say, "Hey, roll down your window. I see you on the Kim Komando today."
Oh God! Now
and I'll say,
YouTube.
please
Oh my
subscribe
God.
to the YouTube channel because we are just that close to 100,000.
These lies run in the family.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Macy's has all of your Grill Master essentials for Father's Day. Stop by to get our hand-trimmed chicken breast and certified Angus beef patties that are ready to grill, so Dad can have his favorite dinner. Make sure to browse our bakery to find the perfect no-work Father's Day treat with our decadent peanut butter bars or famous donuts. Right now, you can get boneless beef ribeye steaks for $12.99 per pound at Macy's. Shop these Father's Day essentials in-store or online at Macys.com through June 18th. Macy's, happy shopping!